What it means when a woman touches you first. Attraction psychology. When a woman chooses to touch you first, even for a brief second, it is rarely random. It is often intentional, even if it looks casual on the surface. As the saying goes, the most powerful communication is often unspoken. And in attraction, that is especially true. Before words form, before logic steps in, the body speaks. A light brush of her arm against yours, a playful tap on your shoulder, her hand lingering just a moment longer than necessary. These are not accidents when they happen in the right context. They're emotional impulses moving faster than conscious thought. Attraction lives in that space. Many men dismiss these moments because they seem small. They overthink. They assume coincidence. But a woman who feels nothing creates distance, not contact. When she closes the gap physically, even subtly, she is testing comfort, chemistry, and your response. That spark you sometimes feel, the quiet charge in the air without a kiss or deep conversation, is real. Her fingers adjust her hair. Her eyes meet yours, then look away, then return. Her body angles toward you. These are preverbal signals driven by the emotional brain, not rehearsed strategy. Neuroscience shows that emotional responses activate before rational analysis. She feels first. She explains later, if she explains at all. That is why touch can reveal more truth than long messages ever could. The man who understands this does not react with neediness or shock. He stays grounded. He remains calm. He receives the signal without chasing it. That calm confidence is what deepens attraction. Miss these cues, and you miss opportunity. Recognize them, and you move with quiet certainty. There are distinct patterns in how a woman initiates touch, each one carrying a slightly different meaning, from playful curiosity to protective closeness to unmistakable desire. When you learn to read these signals accurately, you stop doubting yourself. You stop guessing. You respond with presence instead of insecurity. And that is where real connection begins, not in clever lines, not in pressure, but in awareness. 7 touches, 7 signals, 7 silent invitations waiting for a man perceptive enough to notice. She adjusts her clothing. First, she adjusts her clothing, and most men completely overlook what is really happening in that quiet, almost invisible moment. She plays with her sleeves, smooths her skirt, straightens her collar, or lightly fixes a strap. On the surface, it looks random. It is not random at all. When a woman feels attracted to you, her awareness sharpens. She suddenly becomes conscious of how she looks, how she moves, how she is being seen. It is not about vanity. It is anticipation. It is that subtle rush of energy that says, this interaction matters. Imagine you are both laughing in a relaxed conversation. Nothing dramatic. Nothing staged. Yet, she keeps adjusting her outfit as if she is preparing for something important, even though she already looked great before you arrived. That shift is the clue. Do not dismiss it as simple fidgeting. Do not brush it off as meaningless habit. Be observant. Be steady. Small physical adjustments often come from nervous excitement. Attraction shows up in the body before it ever shows up in words. She may smooth her sleeve after you hold eye contact a second longer. She may fix her neckline right after you compliment her perspective. These are not rehearsed moves. They're instinctive responses to emotional tension building between you. Here is where many men go wrong. They either become overly excited and rush the moment, or they shrink back and doubt themselves. Don't. Keep your posture relaxed. Keep your tone calm. You must understand this. Attraction grows in calm energy, not chaos. When your presence feels grounded and controlled, her subtle signals become more natural and more frequent. She feels safe expressing that spark. That is the dynamic. That is the unspoken rhythm. I once spoke with a man in his 40s who began noticing this pattern during everyday conversations. Instead of chasing validation, he simply stayed composed. He stopped trying to impress. He focused on being solid. The result? Stronger eye contact, warmer smiles, conversations that lingered longer than usual. When she adjusts her clothing while smiling at you, when she subtly checks her appearance mid-conversation, understand what it often means. Her body is responding to the emotional charge between you. It is not a guarantee. It is not a promise. It is an invitation. Attraction whispers before it speaks. If you train yourself to notice the whispers and respond with calm confidence, you will stop second guessing and start understanding the silent language happening right in front of you. Next, she might touch her neck or collarbone. That small movement seems simple, almost invisible, but don't dismiss it as random. That area is sensitive. It is close to her voice, her breath, her pulse. When she runs her fingers slowly along her neck, plays with a necklace, or lets her hand rest lightly on her collarbone while she is talking to you, it is rarely an accident. Be observant. Be calm. That gesture often appears when a woman feels a subtle emotional charge in the moment and is processing it through her body instead of her words. Understand what is really happening. The neck and collarbone are vulnerable areas. We protect what feels exposed. So when she touches that space in front of you, she is not just adjusting jewelry. She is revealing comfort. She is signaling that your presence does not make her tense or guarded. That is important. Attraction without safety creates distance. Safety without attraction creates boredom. But when she touches that area while maintaining conversation, eye contact, or a soft smile, it is often a blend of desire and trust working together. Experts in body language often explain that self-touch in sensitive areas can be a soothing response to emotional stimulation. In simple terms, her body is responding to you, not in a dramatic way, not in a loud way, in a quiet, honest way. Many men overlook this because they are waiting for something obvious. They look for grand gestures. They look for bold moves. Don't. Attraction is usually subtle. It whispers before it ever speaks. When she lightly traces her collarbone or adjusts her necklace while leaning toward you, that can mean she is aware of your attention. She feels it. And instead of pulling back, she stays engaged. That is a green light of comfort. It shows she feels safe enough to express a softer side. That softness is not something given casually. It appears when she senses steadiness in you. So ask yourself, are you creating calm, grounded energy around her? Are you listening fully? Are you present? Because her body often reacts to the atmosphere you create. Many men miss this signal and assume nothing is happening. Then later they wonder why they felt a vibe but never acted with confidence. Don't ignore the small signs. Be attentive without being reactive. That is the key. You must observe without rushing. You must notice without assuming. Confidence grows from awareness, not fantasy. Imagine if noticing this small movement changed the way you carry yourself. Imagine recognizing that when she touches her neck while laughing at your story, she is not bored. She is engaged. When she plays with her necklace while holding your gaze, she is not distracted. She is feeling something and managing it gracefully. That awareness should not make you arrogant. It should make you steady. Do not stare at the gesture. Do not call it out. That would break the moment. Instead, continue leading the conversation calmly. Lower your tone slightly. Maintain eye contact. Let your body language mirror her comfort. That is how attraction builds naturally. Attraction is not forced. It unfolds. This is where many men gain an edge. Not because they manipulate, not because they push, but because they understand. When you understand the language of subtle touch, you stop second-guessing yourself. You stop overanalyzing texts later. You become present in the moment. And here is the deeper truth. When she feels safe enough to reveal vulnerability through small gestures like touching her collarbone, she is testing emotional safety. If you respond with composure, you strengthen that connection. If you become nervous or overexcited, the energy shifts. So be centered. Be grounded. That is what creates attraction that lasts longer than a single conversation. We can change the way you see these moments. Instead of feeling confused, feel aware. Instead of feeling unsure, feel steady. Imagine how different your confidence would feel if you understood that these tiny movements are often invitations to stay present and lead with calm strength. Attraction psychology is not about tricks. It is about reading the room, respecting the signals, and responding with maturity. Notice the neck. Notice the collarbone. Notice the softness. Then stay composed. That is how you turn subtle interest into meaningful connection. Then there is the way she uses her lips. Pay attention. When a woman gently bites her lower lip, slowly applies lip balm while holding your gaze, or lightly rests her fingers near her mouth as she looks at you, she is not just adjusting her appearance. She is signaling awareness. She is signaling anticipation. She is signaling that something inside her has shifted. Across cultures and across time, lips have symbolized passion and intimacy. As Anami Sneen once said, "We do not see things as they are, we see them as we are." When she draws attention to her lips in your presence, it often reflects the emotional atmosphere you are creating. Her mind and body are subtly preparing for closeness, sometimes before she consciously admits it to herself. Do not overreact. Do not interrupt the moment with nervous chatter. Do not rush to fill the silence. That is where most men lose their edge. Instead, hold steady eye contact. Let your smile be slow and natural. Let your posture remain relaxed and grounded. Your energy speaks louder than clever lines. Attraction is rarely built through words alone. It is built through presence. In modern life, where everyone is distracted by phones, notifications, and endless noise, a man who can stay calm and fully present stands out immediately. Be that man. Be the one who does not flinch when the tension rises. Be the one who understands that stillness can be more powerful than speech. Understand this clearly. When she highlights her lips, she is not asking for pressure. She is inviting connection. There is a difference. A confident man reads the invitation without forcing the outcome. He allows the moment to breathe. He allows her to feel safe in her own desire. That is strength. That is maturity. Especially for men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond, the game is no longer about speed. It is about depth. It is about control. It is about emotional steadiness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Remember that. You cannot control her signals. You can control your response. And your response determines everything. Does this feel familiar? Many men have experienced this subtle gesture and dismissed it as random. It is not random. Human behavior rarely is. Small physical cues often reveal what words conceal. The key is not obsession. The key is awareness. Notice the pattern. Notice the timing. Notice whether her body language softens, whether her voice lowers, whether she leans slightly closer. Attraction is layered. Lips are only one layer. But when combined with eye contact and open posture, the message becomes clearer. As you grow older, your greatest asset is not youthful looks. It is composed energy. It is emotional control. It is the ability to remain motivated and vibrant regardless of age. Stay active. Dress with intention. Maintain your health. Keep your mind sharp. High energy is attractive at any stage of life. When you feel strong, you project strength. When you feel purposeful, you project purpose. And women respond to that stability more than to impulsive excitement. Here is the truth. Attraction rewards the man who is centered. Do not chase signals. Recognize them. Do not beg for validation. Assume your value. Do not doubt yourself when the signs are subtle. Trust your perception, but confirm through patience. Victory in dating, like victory in life, belongs to the man who masters himself first. When you can read the room without losing your composure, when you can sense desire without becoming desperate, you step into a different league entirely. So the next time she gently touches her lips while looking at you, do not panic. Do not overthink. Hold your ground. Smile. Let the moment unfold. Stay sharp. Stay calm. Stay energized. That is how you win, not just in attraction, but in life. Fourth, pay attention when she starts moving her legs around you. Touch is rarely random. It is communication without words. She crosses her legs slowly, then uncrosses them. She rubs her thigh absent-mindedly. She taps her knee with restless energy. These are not careless habits. They are signals. The body often speaks faster than the mouth ever could. When a woman feels stimulated by your presence, her energy has to go somewhere. It shows up in movement. It shows up in subtle motion. A woman who feels neutral will usually remain composed and still. But when she is drawn in, her body becomes animated. That is not coincidence. That is attraction looking for an outlet. Do not misunderstand this. Not every movement means desire. Context matters. Environment matters. But when those movements happen while she is engaged with you, leaning toward you, holding eye contact, that is different. That is intentional energy. When her legs move and her eyes stay locked on yours, she is not distracted. She is tuned in. Be aware of that combination. Movement plus connection equals interest. Movement without attention means nothing. You must read the full picture, not just one frame. There is something powerful about nervous energy. Attraction often creates a gentle tension inside a person. It raises the heart rate. It sharpens focus. It makes stillness difficult. Think about how you feel when you are excited about something important. You shift in your seat. You adjust your posture. You feel alert. She experiences the same surge. Her legs moving, her posture adjusting, her body subtly opening toward you. These are physical responses to emotional stimulation. Do not ignore them. Do not overreact either. Simply observe. Be calm when you notice it. That is crucial. Many men see a sign and immediately become overeager. They rush. They lean in too quickly. They talk too much. Don't do that. Confidence is quiet. Confidence notices without panicking. If she is expressing interest through her body, your job is not to chase it. Your job is to match it with steady presence. Slow your movements. Lower your voice. Hold eye contact just a second longer. Let the tension breathe. That is how attraction deepens. And here is something deeper to understand. When she moves like this while maintaining eye contact, she is inviting you into a shared moment. Eye contact is vulnerability. Combined with subtle leg movement, it becomes a silent question. Do you feel this too? If you look away too quickly, you break the current. If you stare aggressively, you create pressure. Be balanced. Be relaxed. That is strength. That is maturity. Now think about your daily life. After a long day at work, you might feel drained. Your mind is cluttered. Your body is tired. It becomes easy to miss these small signals. You sit across from someone and assume nothing is happening. But awareness changes everything. When you train yourself to observe subtle cues, you sharpen your emotional intelligence. You become present. That presence does not only help in romantic situations. It carries into your family life. It carries into conversations with your children. It carries into leadership at work. Energy flows where attention goes. If you are distracted, you lose connection. If you are attentive, you gain insight. That is why even a small lesson like this matters. It reminds you to wake up, to look up from your phone, to notice how someone responds to your presence. Attraction is not loud. It is often quiet and layered. The man who sees the layers has an advantage, not because he manipulates, but because he understands. Do not chase signals. Interpret them calmly. Do not assume every movement means something dramatic. But do not dismiss consistent patterns either. When she repeatedly shifts her legs toward you, angles her body in your direction, and maintains warm eye contact, she is comfortable. She is engaged. She is investing attention. That is valuable. Be the man who notices without bragging about it. Be the man who responds with steady energy instead of anxious excitement. You must control your pace. You must stay grounded. Attraction grows best in a space that feels safe and confident. And remember this, awareness creates connection. The more present you are, the more you see. The more you see, the more wisely you respond. That is how small signals become meaningful moments. That is how a simple movement of her legs can tell a deeper story if you are paying attention. Now let's slow this down and talk about her playing with her hair, because this small gesture is older than any dating app and more honest than most pickup lines. When a woman starts twisting a strand, sliding it behind her ear, or lightly brushing it off her shoulder while she's talking to you, don't dismiss it as random movement. Don't assume she is simply fixing herself. Attraction often leaks through the smallest doors. Her body gets a little spark of energy. Her pulse rises just enough, and that energy needs somewhere to go. So it travels to her hands, and her hair becomes the outlet. It is subtle. It is soft. It is almost innocent, but it is rarely meaningless. Think of it like this. When electricity runs through a wire, the current has to show up somewhere. Her fingers become that wire. She is not announcing interest with fireworks. She is whispering it through motion. Many men over 35 tell me they overlooked this for years because they were waiting for bold signals. Don't wait for bold. Be sharp enough to read quiet. That is where real connection begins. When she plays with her hair, she is drawing attention to her face, to her neck, to the space between you. She is saying without words, I am aware of you. And awareness is the first door to desire. You must understand this. Attraction is rarely loud at the beginning. It is playful. It is nervous. It is curious. When you notice her touching her hair, don't stare awkwardly. Don't grin like you cracked a secret code. Be steady. Hold eye contact just a second longer. Speak calmly. Lower your tone slightly. That is confidence. That is presence. The man who sees without reacting impulsively becomes magnetic. And here's the deeper layer. When she adjusts her hair, she is also self-soothing. Her body is managing excitement. That means your presence matters. Not because you tried too hard. Not because you performed. But because you showed up grounded. Women respond to grounded energy. If you've missed this signal before, don't beat yourself up. Awareness is a skill. And once you train it, you walk into every room differently. You are no longer guessing. You are observing. And an observant man carries quiet power without saying a word. Next, she picks up her phone but doesn't really use it. She grabs it, flips it over, locks and unlocks the screen, scrolls without seeing. No real message. No real purpose. Just movement. And that small, restless motion tells a bigger story than most men realize. This is a newer sign in the world of modern attraction. Years ago, she might have played with a napkin or adjusted her bracelet. Today, the phone is the shield. It is the prop. It is the escape hatch she doesn't fully step through. Don't assume she's bored. Don't jump to the conclusion that she's distracted. Be observant instead. That is emotional intelligence in action. When a woman touches you first or feels drawn toward you, her body reacts before her words do. Attraction creates energy. Energy creates tension. And tension seeks release. Sometimes that release shows up as nervous movement. The phone becomes something to hold because holding you might feel too obvious. The screen becomes something to look at because looking directly into your eyes might reveal too much. You must understand this clearly. Nervous behavior is not rejection. It is often investment. Indifference is calm. Indifference is relaxed. But when she feels something, her system activates. Her heart rate shifts. Her breathing changes. Her mind starts racing ahead of her composure. So she grabs the nearest object and pretends to be busy, while internally she is very aware of you. Watch the details. Is she angling her body toward you even while pretending to scroll? Is she smiling slightly for no reason? Is she unlocking the phone only to lock it again seconds later? That is not boredom. That is emotional overflow looking for control. Don't misread it. Many men over 35 have been conditioned to think, if she's on her phone, she's not interested. That rule might apply in some situations. But context is everything. If she were truly disengaged, she would dive into the screen. She would text. She would disappear into another world. But if she keeps hovering in the moment, half present, half distracted, that often means you are the reason she can't focus. Be calm. Be centered. Don't call it out in a teasing or insecure way. Don't say, "Am I boring you?" That kills the tension. Instead, slow your movements. Lower your tone. Hold eye contact just a second longer. That is confidence. That is maturity. You must become the steady presence in the room while she manages her fluttering emotions. Attraction psychology teaches a simple truth. When feelings rise, people regulate. Some laugh. Some talk faster. Some fidget. In today's world, many reach for their phone. It is socially acceptable. It hides vulnerability. But the body cannot fully lie. If her feet stay pointed toward you, if she mirrors your posture, if she finds reasons to stay near even while pretending to scroll, you are not losing her. You are affecting her. Do not overreact. Don't withdraw your energy just because she picked up her phone. That is impatience. Stay grounded. Let the moment breathe. The man who understands subtle signals doesn't panic. He observes. He adjusts. He leads the emotional tone without forcing it. And if you've misunderstood this before, do not worry. Every man has misread signals at some point. The difference between the average man and the wise man is interpretation. One assumes. The other studies. One reacts. The other remains steady. So next time she flips her phone open and closed while sitting close to you, don't assume disinterest. Ask yourself a better question. Is she regulating emotion? Most of the time, if her body is still oriented toward you and she hasn't mentally left the conversation, the answer is yes. Be patient. Be composed. That is how you turn nervous energy into connection. Lastly, pay attention to her fingers, her nails, her hands. This is subtle. This is quiet. But it is real. When a woman begins rubbing her fingers together, slowly twisting a ring, tracing the edge of a bracelet, or lightly touching her own hand while she's near you, her body is speaking. Not loudly, not dramatically, but honestly. These small movements are often a sign that she is processing emotion and lowering internal tension at the same time. She feels something. Attraction creates energy. Energy creates nervous system activity, and the body looks for ways to regulate it. As Maya Angelou once said, people will never forget how you made them feel. In that moment, she is feeling something, and her hands are quietly revealing it. Understand this clearly. When she touches her own hands or fidgets gently with jewelry while maintaining proximity to you, she is not closed off. She is open and stimulated, but managing the intensity. Her body is saying, this matters. Smart men see this. They don't panic. They don't rush. They don't start performing. They observe. They breathe. They stay grounded. In modern life, where everyone is glued to a screen and distracted by notifications, the man who can slow down and read physical nuance holds a rare advantage. Most men miss it because they are busy trying to impress. Don't impress. Be present. Don't chase validation. Hold composure. Here is the instruction. When you notice this sign, lower your tempo. Take one steady breath. Relax your shoulders. Keep your movements deliberate. Your calm becomes contagious. Your steadiness becomes attractive. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Her nervous energy is not something to fix. It is something to balance. If she is slightly charged, you must be slightly grounded. That contrast creates chemistry. That polarity creates safety. You must not overtalk. You must not lean in too aggressively. You must not break the rhythm with awkward jokes. Stay centered. Your voice matters here. Slow it down. Deepen it slightly. Not forced. Not theatrical. Just controlled. A calm, steady tone signals confidence without needing to announce it. Pair that with consistent, unbroken eye contact, not staring, not challenging, but relaxed and intentional, and you shift the dynamic instantly. You become the emotional anchor in the interaction. That is powerful. Not loud power. Quiet power. The kind that attracts naturally because it feels safe and strong at the same time. Remember this, attraction is often a dance of nervous systems. Her small hand movements show activation. Your calm shows leadership. If you mirror her anxiety, the moment collapses. If you counterbalance it with steadiness, the moment deepens. Repetition matters. Calm body, calm voice, direct eyes, measured movements. Repeat it. Calm body, calm voice, direct eyes, measured movements. This is how you master these moments. In today's dating culture, where conversations move fast and attention spans move faster, the man who understands subtle physical cues wins without competing. He does not force outcomes. He allows them. He does not chase signals. He recognizes them. When you see her fingers move like that, don't react with excitement. React with stability. That stability creates attraction far more than flashy lines or exaggerated charm. You are not there to prove yourself. You are there to hold the frame. You are there to set the emotional temperature. When she feels something and tries to steady herself, Your job is simple. Be the steady one. That is how you turn a small, secret gesture into a meaningful shift. That is how you master not just attraction, but yourself. So, how many of these signs have you missed? How many women were ready to connect and you didn't see it? Learning to catch these quiet cues makes you aware, and awareness pulls people in like a magnet. Women like a man who is observant and sure of himself. It is all about the feeling and the natural chemicals in the brain. If this makes sense, hit that like and subscribe button. You are just starting to understand the power of attraction. If you want to master these ideas, subscribe channel. I will guide you to be the guy she is drawn to before any touch happens. In the end, it is not her words that matter, but what her body cannot hide. Until then, watch closely. Her body speaks to you every time. If this helped you, leave a like and a comment. Let's look deeper at the space between you. The simple idea of being close is a huge signal. If she starts to turn her body toward you when you are talking, pulling her shoulder or hip closer, that is a bridge being built. She is not just sitting there. She is directing her focus and her whole self toward you. This shift is a move from polite interest to personal interest. She is letting you into her personal space, that bubble of comfort. Most people keep that zone private, but when she leans in or moves her chair closer without a reason, her body is saying she wants to be near you. This alignment is like a silent agreement that she likes your company. And if she stays close, even when others arrive, that pull is a sign of her interest. Now let's talk about mirroring, because this is where attraction becomes quiet, subtle, and incredibly revealing. Mirroring is a natural human instinct. When a woman feels drawn to you, her body often begins to copy yours without her even realizing it. You touch your chin, and moments later, she touches hers. You lean back, she leans back. You cross your legs, she adjusts hers in a similar way. Don't dismiss this as coincidence. Don't assume she is mocking you. Be observant. That is her nervous system signaling alignment. That is her subconscious saying, I feel connected here. Attraction is rarely loud. It whispers through behavior. Mirroring is one of those whispers, and if you are not paying attention, you will miss it completely. This is not about tricks. It is about biology. When we feel safe and engaged with someone, our brains naturally sync. It is an unconscious dance of harmony. Think about close friends who start using the same phrases or long-term couples who walk in step without planning it. The body reflects emotional comfort before words ever do. When she mirrors you, she is not calculating. She is responding. Her guard lowers. Her posture softens. Her movements flow in rhythm with yours. That is not performance. That is comfort. And comfort is the foundation of attraction. You must understand this. Attraction is not always fireworks. Sometimes it is synchronization. Now, here's where most men fail. They either overreact or they ignore it. Don't overanalyze every small movement. Be calm. Be grounded. But also don't be blind. If you start noticing a consistent pattern, she adjusts when you adjust, she smiles when you smile, she leans in when you lean in, that is data. That is information. And smart men use information, not fantasy. If you want to test it gently, change something subtle. Shift your posture. Take a sip of your drink. Lean slightly forward. Then wait. Not aggressively. Not obviously. Just observe. If she follows your movement within a short moment, that is not random. That is resonance. Mirroring at this level is difficult to fake because it happens below conscious awareness. A person pretending to be interested might control their words, but controlling micromovements consistently is nearly impossible. The body betrays truth. That is why mirroring is powerful. It reveals her real emotional state more accurately than polite conversation ever could. If her body is in rhythm with yours, her mind is likely engaged as well. And when a woman feels safe enough to unconsciously sync with you, her internal walls are lowering. That is significant. Safety precedes attraction. Comfort precedes connection. But here is the deeper lesson. Don't use this knowledge to manipulate. Use it to calibrate yourself. If she mirrors you, it means you are presenting yourself in a way that feels steady and secure. Keep that energy. Don't suddenly become loud or erratic. Don't break the rhythm. Be consistent. Be centered. Attraction grows in stability, not chaos. If she is not mirroring you at all, if her body is turned away, her posture closed, her movements disconnected, don't force chemistry. That is information too. Respect it. Adjust or move on with dignity. You must train yourself to read behavior, not just listen to words. Words can be polite. Words can be cautious. The body is more honest. When she mirrors you, she is stepping into your frame without realizing it. She is aligning her physical presence with yours. That alignment is a quiet green light, not a guarantee, not a promise, but a meaningful signal. And mature men, especially those who have lived, loved, and learned, understand that attraction is built on these subtle cues, not dramatic declarations. So the next time you are sitting across from a woman and you feel that subtle rhythm forming, don't panic. Don't rush. Be present. Notice the harmony. That is the moment where connection begins to breathe. And if you can stay calm, confident, and observant in that space, you will never again have to guess blindly about where you stand. Think about her voice. Slow down and really notice it. When a woman is interested, something subtle happens. Her tone shifts. It may rise slightly. It may soften. It may become warmer, almost like velvet wrapped around a sentence. That change is not random. It is instinct. It is her body adjusting the atmosphere between you. Don't ignore it. Be attentive. That is communication without words. A woman who feels nothing stays neutral. A woman who feels something begins to color her voice. You must understand this. Attraction often whispers before it ever speaks clearly. Sometimes she lowers her voice just enough that you have to lean in to hear her. That is not an accident. That is proximity by design. When she creates a moment where you must step closer, she is building what I call a physical bridge. It is small. It is quiet. But it is intentional. Leaning in reduces space. Reduced space increases tension. And tension, when mutual, is electric. Don't rush it. Don't break it with nervous chatter. Be steady. Hold eye contact. Let the moment breathe. That is how a high-value man responds. Calm, grounded, present. Now let's talk about something most men confuse: comfort versus desire. They're not the same. Comfort feels relaxed, friendly, easy. Desire has a pulse. It has energy. When she speaks to you softly while holding your gaze a second longer than necessary, that is not just comfort. That is curiosity mixed with interest. When her voice drops slightly and her words slow down, she is not just being polite. She is engaging. You must learn to read the difference. Don't assume every smile means attraction. But don't dismiss the layered signals either. Attraction psychology is subtle. It rewards the observant. Her laughter matters more than you think. Is she laughing often? Even at your average jokes? Pay attention. This is not about you being a comedian. This is about how she feels in your presence. Genuine laughter is involuntary. It escapes. It sparkles. When she laughs freely around you, she feels safe and stimulated at the same time. That combination is powerful. Safety opens the door. Excitement keeps it open. If she touches your arm while laughing, even briefly, that is amplification. Her body is reinforcing what her voice is already saying. Don't confuse polite chuckles with real laughter. Politeness is short, controlled, measured. Real laughter lingers. It repeats. It makes her lean toward you instead of away. That is a green light in emotional language. You must be sharp enough to see it. Not desperate. Not overconfident. Just aware. A high-value man does not chase signals. He recognizes them. He stays centered. He allows her to come closer naturally. Also notice the rhythm of her speech. Does she speak faster when she is excited? Does she play with her tone? Does she tease lightly? Energy shifts reveal emotional investment. When a woman invests energy, she is testing connection. Be responsive but not overwhelming. Mirror her pace slightly. That is alignment. That is emotional intelligence in action. Here is the truth. Attraction is rarely announced with a banner. It is expressed through tone, laughter, proximity, and subtle physical cues. Her voice is a doorway. Her laughter is confirmation. The space she closes between you is intention. Don't dismiss these signs as coincidence, but don't inflate them into fantasy either. Stay grounded. Stay observant. Stay composed. If she touches you first while laughing softly and lowering her voice, that is layered interest. Voice, touch, proximity, laughter. Multiple signals together are stronger than one alone. You must look at the pattern, not just the moment. Be calm. Be aware. Be the man who notices without needing to force anything. That is how you move from guessing to understanding. That is how you read attraction without asking for it. Let's begin with eye contact, because most men misunderstand it and then miss the moment. Eye contact is not about whether she looks at you. It is about how she looks at you. There is a world of difference. A casual glance is polite. A held gaze is intentional. When a woman is interested, she does not just see you. She studies you. She holds your eyes a second longer than necessary. That extra second is not an accident. It is attention. And attention is currency in today's distracted world. In a time when everyone is glued to a phone, if she gives you sustained eye contact, she is investing energy in you. Do not dismiss that. Notice it. Understand it. As Maya Angelou said, people will never forget how you made them feel. When she holds your gaze, she is trying to feel you out. And she wants you to feel her presence too. Now pay attention to what I call the three-part look. This is where many men fail to read the signal. She looks into your eyes. Then her gaze drops briefly to your mouth. Then she returns to your eyes. That quick glance at your lips is not random. It is instinct. It is curiosity. It is desire flashing for half a second before her mind regains control. You must be sharp enough to catch it. Don't overreact. Don't smirk. Don't call it out. Stay grounded. Stay calm. Hold steady eye contact back. That is strength. That is composure. The man who remains centered when tension rises is the man who wins in life and in attraction. This is not about ego. It is about awareness. You are not chasing signals. You are observing them. Then there is biology. Her pupils. In softer lighting, if her pupils appear larger when she looks at you, that is not imagination. It is a natural response to excitement and focus. Her body is literally adjusting to take you in more clearly. She cannot command that reaction. It happens beneath the surface. Attraction often reveals itself in the body before it is admitted in words. Remember that. The body speaks first. Words follow later. In modern dating, where mixed messages are common and text messages blur intention, physical cues remain honest. The eyes rarely lie. Shakespeare wrote, "The eyes are the window to your soul." That line has survived for centuries because it is true. When she is emotionally engaged, her eyes soften. They linger. They invite. Contrast that with disinterest. A woman who is not drawn to you will break eye contact quickly and repeatedly. She will scan the room. She will look at her phone. She will not return to your gaze with warmth. But when she keeps seeking your eyes again and again, she is emotionally locked in. She is checking if you are still there. She is measuring your reaction. She is testing the connection. Do not ignore that pattern. Repeated eye contact is pursuit in its quietest form. It is subtle, but it is powerful. Here is your instruction. Be observant, not desperate. Be calm, not reactive. When you notice these signs, do not rush. Slow your breathing. Stand tall. Speak clearly. Eye contact is an invitation, not a guarantee. It opens the door. You must decide how you walk through it. In a world full of noise, the man who can read subtlety has an advantage. The man who understands nonverbal cues moves with confidence because he is not guessing. He is aware. Master this, and you master more than attraction. You master perception. You sharpen emotional intelligence. You stop second-guessing yourself. That is power. Not loud power. Quiet power. The kind that makes you steady in conversation, composed under pressure, and magnetic without trying too hard. Watch her eyes. Notice the hold. Catch the glance. Recognize the return. Then respond with presence. That is how you lead without force. That is how you create tension without words. That is how you win, not just in dating, but in life. Consider how she uses objects near her. If she is holding a cup or her phone and starts rubbing the edge while you talk, this is a way to handle excited energy. It is like fiddling with her hands, but using an object. This is not a sign she is distracted. It is a sign of focused energy toward you. A bored woman will put the object down. A woman who likes you will keep it moving. We also need to look closer at the hair toss. The classic flip is common, but look at how she does it. She is not just pushing hair away. She is exposing her neck and face. The neck is a vulnerable place. By opening this area, she shows trust and comfort. When she does this slowly with a head tilt, it is a message that she feels safe and wants you to see her. This behavior is ancient and tied to feeling secure. Pay attention to that head tilt. Now look at her feet and legs when sitting. Feet tell the most honest story because we don't think about them much. If her feet point toward you, her body wants to move toward you, even if her upper body stays polite. If her feet and knees point your way, her core intention is fixed on you. Crossing and uncrossing her legs shows that same excited energy. The lower body reveals the truth when the upper body tries to stay calm. Another big clue is her memory. A woman who is truly interested remembers small things. If she recalls your comment about coffee or a story you shared before, she was focused on you. She made mental space for you. This shows you matter to her. Think about when she laughs and covers her face. Sometimes attraction is so strong it creates shyness. If she covers her mouth or looks down after laughing, she is managing intense feelings. This is not rejection. It is a momentary retreat because you are having an impact. Finally, the best test of her comfort is the return touch. If you gently brush her arm or briefly hold her hand, notice what happens. If she stays, that tells you everything.